Welcome to my channel, World of Forensics. Today is the part 2 of Arson and Fire. In the previous presentation on Arson and Fire, we have learned till the phases of fire. Today we are going to start from the types of fire. So, the types of fire can be divided in basically two categories. One is according to what is actually burned in the fire, and the other is the source of ignition. So, what is actually burned? We can have dwelling burning, commercial premises burning, vehicle burning, public property burning, maiden vessels burning, publics and reserves burning. And according to sources of fire, we have electrical source of fire, machinery source of fire, auto ignition, weather, and direct ignition. The first one of the source of ignition, that is electrical source of fire. The electrical cause of fire can be divided into three categories like electrical fires, electrical sparks, and the electrical wires, cable connections, and its components. In electrical fires, electrical energy represents the source of ignition. Here, the electrical appliances and electricity supply are the cause of fire. In most misunderstood of cases are caused due to related to the electrical origin of the fire. The principal reason why some unreliable fire causes statistics had complied over the past years. If electrical appliances and electricity supply are present in the fire scene, then they may be the cause of the fire at that scene. The electrical sparks, they act as an ignition for flammable or combustible materials. Any inflammable or combustible material can be ignited by a spark if the energy dissipated by the spark is sufficient to cause rise in the local temperature of the material to the fire point or flash point. Electrical sparks can be from static electricity, from alternating current, or from direct current electricity. The source of the electricity is not important. The factor is the thermal energy of the spark, which helps in ignition. The third one, that is the electrical wires, cable connections, and commons, also acts as a source of electrical fire. The appliances that are the electrical appliances are collector bad and fused, but there are some chances that there may be electrical fault which may result in the fire. But and the electrical appliances may not be in good condition and not all premises are correctly wired, which results in the ignition from that electrical cables and wires. So there may be some reasons which includes um, are damaged or degraded insulation of wires or cables, excessive loads on power poles or outlets, damaged electrical contacts, inadequate heat dissipation. The electrical appliances are normally designed in such a way so to avoid the overheating, but due to some reasons, that is any fault within the system of wire or electrical circuits, which may result in this electrical fire. Electrical appliances can cause fire in a variety of ways, which includes breakdown of transformer, loading of electrical motors in washing machines or dryers, which can lead to fire. Overheating of the battery chargers from the mobiles may lead to fire. Failure of the cooling fans in appliances that generate a lot of heat, like computer, AC machines, which require these fans. If there is fault within this fan and they are unable to cool down the machines, which may lead to fire. Machinery source of fire. Fires can be caused by machinery. For ignition of any flammable or combustible material, the material must be heated to a fire point. Under certain conditions, a mechanical action can cause fire by heating combustible material. Example of ignition by mechanical action may be due to the fire where the bow is rapidly rotating to a steel and a wooden plate is attached. Friction causes heating and which eventually results in the ignition of the bow. In case of motor vehicles, this type of mechanical fire can be observed when there is mechanical failure in any part of the motor vehicles. The fires can be found in wheel casing. A damaged bearing leads to greatly increased friction and a lot of heat is generated, and this might ignite the grease and hydraulic fluids that are present and leads to the fire in the wheel. Weather. It is a significant subclass of fire which is caused by natural phenomena. This natural phenomena includes lightning, sun heat, and rain. The fires which are caused in this way by the heat are referred to as self-heating fire. Case of lightning strikes, mostly the conductors that are present absorbs the lightning. But in some cases, the housing and other buildings, fires can be observed. There are several factors which make this possible, which includes a recent thunderstorm with significant electrical activity. This affected structure is exposed or elevated to such position and physical damage to the upper or exterior portion of the building premises or aerial part of the chimney. Apart from lightning, the sunlight and heat, rain both are potential causes of fire. The sunlight, when are fa- fall on any haystacks for a long time, the haystacks may be seen to have got on fire. This is how the heat plays an important role in causing fire, and the heat of the sun is when intense in nature. These types of events are found to occur. Autoignition. It is a complex phenomena of autoignition or self-heating, which is popularly known, and in some cases it is incorrectly also known as spontaneous combustion. Materials which can be easily oxidized in many instances have self-heating properties. The spontaneous ignitions are found in haystacks, which is an example of biological heating. This temperature within the haystack is due to the bacterial activity, and when it is around 70 degrees, the upper limit of the biological bacterial growth, then we can observe autoignition within the haystack. The chemical oxidation is also important in these cases. So, the biological and chemical heat production are an important cause of autoignition within any substance, and with these, the haystack also ignites spontaneously and is reduced to ashes. Products containing drying or semi-drying oils like linseed, cottonseed are also susceptible to self-heating through chemical oxidation and polymerization, which gives rise to occurrence of fires in oil rigs. Direct ignition. The direct ignition term has evolved to classify simple fire that are caused and do not involve a series of events. Direct ignition shares the same basic principles as that of other types of ignition. That is, when the heat source is applied and the combustible or flammable materials reaches the flash point or fire point, then the fire takes place. In case of matchstick or cigarette lighter, uh, can cause ignition dependent on the heat transport associated with the ignition process. Heat generally get generated by flame is transferred to one part of the material to be ignited. Heat absorbed by the material to be ignited will raise the temperature towards the flash point or fire point, and this is dependent on the thermal capacity of that material. The material directly exposed to the flame can immediately get oxidized and heat is generated, which contributing to the overall rise in the temperature, which causes the fire. Fire development. For understanding fire, it is crucial to determine fire origin and the fire cause, which leads to fire development and the post-ignition phases. For fire to develop, there are four basic steps. The step one is the ignition phase, step two the incipient phase, step three the emergent smoldering, and step four oxygen or air control burn. This presentation is ending here, and the next presentation we will discuss on fire development. Thank you for watching this video. That is the second part of Arson. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos on forensic science and press the bell icon to get notified.